Down here, salt is a way of life.
Obviously, the environment down here is all salt. The ceiling's salt, the floor is salt, the walls are salt, and to an extent, the air is salt.
Hi, Zob1975 and welcome to Elite Dangerous on the Xbox One. Today I've got two 1v1s interspersed with some salty, weird stuff. Here's me having a friendly 1v1 with this guy. He asked me for a 1v1, we had to friend up and wing up to get into the same instance, have a 1v1, and then go our separate ways. Now, the question today is about friend list and whether people should be or shouldn't be on your friend list. Now, I haven't had any lawful commanders on my friend list for about 2 years, I think it is. I'd have to check the date. I made a comment saying that, I was going to war with one of the lawful factions. I was going to be running around their systems, so I didn't want them to be able to easily track me. So I removed them all from my friends list, block and unblock. Ragna Scott's recently claimed that all DMPS have unfriended him. And Pyro immediately points out that he hasn't. I thought it was really funny because I don't know why he would want me on his friends list other than to shoot at me, and I don't know why that would be a good thing for me. I had lawfuls on my friends list for years. They just used it to track me down and shoot at me. Since I removed them, my life is way less annoying. He is obsessed because the other year he claimed that me and Scooby had all of IED blocked. All of them, every single member, all 250 or 260 odd, which is a little bit of an over-exaggeration. I had one ex-member blocked who doxed me, and Scooby had a few members blocked, like maybe a handful, and he had good reason to do that. But I have often asked Ragna Scott why he's so obsessed with Scooby having him blocked, because Scooby never got involved in the 7th Legion versus IED war, even though Ragna Scott lied about him doing BGS against them. Scooby never has done anything really to IED other than be a DMPS member, and he's an explorer who spends 90% of his time in the black. Like, having Scooby on your friends list is pretty pointless because he's normally 20 to 60,000 light years away from you at all times. He spends like 9 months of the year out in the middle of nowhere. He's always moaning at me because I never go exploring. But we're not the only ones. Lots of people don't want lawfuls or people who hunt them down and kill them on their friends list. And all you have to do is block and unblock and it removes them. If you have them on your friends list, even if you hadn't added them back, they can find you by using the social tab or using the system map. And basically, it's just something they use to hunt you down. Now, some people have argued that having people not on your friends list hurts instancing. I'll be honest, for me the jury is out on that because I have as much trouble instancing with people on my friends list as I do with anyone else. Me and Panda have some right trouble sometimes instancing with each other, and we're friends, we've been in the same wing and it still gives us problems. So I don't think it has that great an effect. I think it's over exaggerated. And as the people who are moaning because they can't track you because you're not on their friends list, I will offer one very clear and very concise piece of advice to them.
You want to find someone? Use your eyes.
Now, my short answer on this issue is don't have anyone on your friends list you don't want on your friends list. It is that simple. If you don't want someone on your friends list, don't feel like you should have to put them on your friends list. Now, I'm going to go into the deeper details as to why I don't have any lawfuls on my friends list anymore, and that goes into the realm of real banned salt and a lot of swear words. So if you don't want to see that kind of stuff, then please leave the video at this point, because beyond this little notice coming up, it gets very, very salty. Anyway.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Now, I apologise, but if Ragna Scott is going to act like a plunger and keep dredging up this old shit, I'm going to have to go right back to the start to counter what he's saying. So basically, let's get into why he was unfriended and why people blocked him. Well, for that we have to go back to a guy that I met a long time ago. He was a very salty dude, the first IED commander I really had interaction with, and he kind of set the tone. And it's a shame when I blocked him that it deleted all his messages because they were funny, and some of them were Himalayan salt. He got very triggered, and I had a lot of fun responding to his comments. I'm just joking with him in the replies. I'm not complaining, I'm not moaning about him swearing and shouting and ranting at me. In fact, even when the guy doxed me later, I didn't even complain then. I just invited him to have an adult conversation with me as to why he was upset with me. When he refused, I took the step of blocking him from everything, because he didn't really leave me any, other way to go. And it wasn't the doxing that bothered me, it wasn't the death threats to me that bothered me, because I'm not scared of some internet coward who's sending threats over the internet. We'll show that in a minute. But I did like this comment from Ragna Scott. This was on a video where the guy had called me a cunt 6 times. He said he usually shows good judgment and comms, and apparently Ragna knew that for a fact. And like I say, the irony was the guy had called me the C word 6 times in comments on that video, and then Ragna Scott posted that comment. That comment didn't age well, given the guy sent death threats, doxed me and sent death threats to me and Scooby, doxed me, got confused because he threatened Scooby but said he'd come to my address and beat Scooby up, which was hilarious. He stalked my missus on Facebook, posted stuff to show, like he posts saying, what pizza does your missus like, just after she posted about pizza. He eventually started posting my postcode and stuff like that. And as you can see, like, I'm being reasonable and rational with him in my replies. I do say, like, if you're going to keep being a creepy weirdo, I am going to block you. And he was just a triggered, upset guy. Now, at this point, I didn't know about the death threats that had been sent to Scooby. We didn't actually find out about that until later. He sent Scooby death threats to Scooby over Xbox and via email. He sent all of my stuff on YouTube and via Facebook. Bit of a weird guy, a little bit creepy and odd. But nothing that deeply upset me or anything like that. Now, he was, at the time that he sent a lot of this stuff and started stalking my missus on Facebook and sending a lot of the death threats, a member of IED. IED, I think, quibbled about the dates and say they kicked him just before he doxed me. I think Paul of War was like worried about IED's reputation, which I didn't give 2 shits about a player faction in-game's reputation over something. The guy was in IED when he sent death threats and stalked my missus, so I wasn't worried about that. I talked to Paul of War because I was asking him to reach out to the guy to try and arrange a conversation, otherwise I'd have to block the guy. Now, Ragna Scott, after saying that he knew nothing about doxing people, he was only talking about blocking people, he has to kind of accept that people blocked people over being threatened and sent death threats, and then having people like Ragna Scott pile on and call them liars repeatedly. Here's Ragna Scott saying, I don't know anything about emails, that's probably more IED lies, am I right, Scooby? If you don't know anything about the doxing and the death threats, then why are you claiming to know what form the doxing and the death threats took? It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's either one or the other, isn't it? And also, no wonder you guys get Bill bent out of shape. Well, I think you'd be bent out of shape if someone stalked your missus on Facebook and sent a load of doxing death threats over email, Facebook, Xbox, and YouTube. Call me crazy, but yeah, it's amazing. I actually didn't get that upset by it, but I can understand why people would get upset by that sort of thing. If you can't, then I don't think you have any empathy. Now, I never blamed IED for this, but Scooby did have a point. One of the reasons why this will happen was because IED put out so many lies about me and Scooby. Ragna Scott himself claimed that Scooby BGS'd against him during the IED 7th War, which got Scooby a torrent of abuse from loads of IED members, thinking that he'd blocked them so he could BGS without them being able to affect it. It was a total lie. Ragna Scott claimed that he's seen Scooby BGSing. Well, that wasn't possible because Scooby was out 67,000 light years from the bubble on the other side of, by Beagle Point, for Christ's sake. And he's like here going, doxing isn't nice, but blaming IED for it isn't either. Well, sorry if it's not nice to blame IED, but the guy was in IED at the time, and IED spread a load of lies which made the situation worse, and a lot of people listened to those lies. Here's Be Great or Be Bait calling me and Scooby pathological liars because he believed we'd lied about being doxed and sent death threats. And also, out of the way, he says I'm victim syndrome. Now, I will go deeper into that in a bit, but I want to show some other clips first. Now, after a member of IED admitted that me and Scooby had been misrepresented, Bait apologised to me in private, saying if that's true, I apologise. And he kind of apologised to Scooby with a typical Bait-style apology, which was, I'm sorry you are the way you are, which sounds more like an insult than an apology, but it's the best you're probably going to get out of be great. Now, I don't want to get into a debate over whether IED were responsible for the doxing and the death threats because they spread so many lies that it kind of made the person feel justified in doing what they did, or, you know, there were lots of people that came at us believing the lies that had been spread. There was, you know, the whole oddball's so toxic that the MPS don't want him back lie, that admittedly Paul War eventually, you know, said he misrepresented me in that one, but there were lots of others. The fact that Paul War said bullying primo crimes and healers is one person's opinion he's trying to convert into fact. Well, bullying, I went on about in-game bullying, like telling other factions what to do, which obviously the Mayroon, if you join this war we'll burn your BGS comment really just helped to prove, and the whole DMPS can't take Oddball and Star back, or we'll take their home system away kind of proved. Primo, well, I've shown lots of clips of discussions with people over Primo. It's in their rules of engagement, they can use Primo for the home defense when they're outnumbered or facing toxicity, whatever that means. And as to this comment from Garrix, it confirms if you don't like crimes and pro beams, then sod off. You know, so IED kind of got stuck because yes, I showed video evidence of all the things that I said about them, and they spread a load of lies about me, and I pointed them out repeatedly. So it doesn't bother me. Apparently, if that's playing victim, is pointing out when people are lying about you, then I'll accept. You know, I did point out when people lied about me. But Ragna Scott says apparently I can't take a roasting because he can take a roasting without pulling out the bullying, abuse, or mental health card. Well, I'll give you an example. This is me commenting on this comment. Now, I apologise to Edouard for showing this again. It's from IED's Discord. It was one of many screenshots that people sent me over the time during the 7th Legion War with IED. I got sent lots of screenshots, and this is my response. If you search "not made of glass" on the Low Life Saloon, it'll take you to this comment where I tell Edouard I'm fine with the comment, I thought it was funny. Now, if that's me playing victim or someone with victim syndrome, then please let me know in the comments down below, because I thought that's kind of the opposite. When the two guys from IED contacted the leadership of the Dark Marauders and said that I was close to suicide, did I scream abuse or, complain about it? No, I had an adult conversation with the two of them and said how embarrassing it was, and don't assume I have that sort of relationship with the people I play video games with, please. And I thought it was a real overstep. But it was all dealt with maturely and calmly. I didn't shout, scream, holler at anyone. I dealt with it sensibly. Now, if you want an example of someone playing the mental health card, I'll give you this one. This was a message sent to me by one of IED's leadership, telling me I go way over the top in my videos, and I should remember that people are real people and some of them have issues like depression. All the irony when your colleagues are messaging members of the Dark Marauders telling them how close I am to suicide because I have depression. It's a bitter irony, isn't it? But the second part's even funnier, because honestly, I don't know why you'd be moaning about not having me on your friends list if you think I'm the sort of person that would push someone to the edge just because I want to laugh. Now, if you genuinely believe I would deliberately and willfully push someone to suicide for a laugh, I don't know why you want me on your friends list, and I don't really know why you would want anything to do with me. In fact, I would block the person like that. Instead of blocking me, Ragna Scott's there complaining that I'm not on his friends list so he can hunt me down and attack me. It's just hilarious. And I'd love it to see if Ragna Scott can produce me playing the victim as well as that comment. Now, obviously, they couldn't point to any video with a particular over-the-top person attacking it. And like I say, they wouldn't tell me who the commander was because in fear I would drive them to suicide, just for a laugh. And like I say, I've had people in IED contact members of the Dark Marauders telling them I was close to a breakdown. I had other members of IED contact the leadership of the Dark Marauders telling them off for letting me back because I was so toxic. I think, if I remember rightly, they messaged Orc and told him off for letting me scrub and Star back because we were so toxic. I've had members of IED create fake YouTube accounts so they can sling salt at me and then scream that I'm obsessed with them. I'm not the one making fake accounts. I've had them go mad saying I've got spies in their Discord. No, and Just because somebody sent me screenshots doesn't necessarily make them my spy. Could just be they're a concerned citizen. And as for Ragna Scott, well, apparently these sort of comments aren't anything to do with bullying. This is just him being him. You know, he doesn't talk about people's mental health. You know, he's a lovely guy that you should have on your friends list, and he can't see any reason why anyone would block him or not want him on their friends list. Yeah, but when you put it together with the other people piling on, and when you add in like the amount of people piling on, all the doxing and the death threats, you know, the emails, the Facebook messages, you know, the sending masses of messages, it all adds up. You know, I mean, I haven't even cut out the stuff from Discords and all the stuff that was said that then got deleted. Now I know Ragna Scott would dispute any idea that IED ever bullied anyone into blocking them, but if you take a step back and you look at it, and even if you look at his comments as being just a couple of straws on the donkey's back, you know, it all contributed to somebody blocking you. And then you spent the next like year and 4 months claiming that person was logging with extra steps because they're ordained to block you. But you didn't ever like sit down and think, hold on a minute, if you look at all the stuff we did in its entirety, I'm surprised more people didn't block us, because I haven't blocked them. I blocked one person and I still got abuse from Ragna Scott over that. The irony is that Ragna Scott for the past few months has been flying with someone who's had me blocked. There was a guy that had me blocked. It was sometime last year he blocked me. He's only just recently unblocked me. You know, I knew this because I couldn't see his comments in system chat, etc. And then Ragna Scott's moaning that he can't see me. Well, don't wing with someone who's got me blocked then. And what is Ragna Scott's friendship offering you? What is the great offer at the end of the rainbow? Well, it's another meta for FDLs fight, which there's plenty of them. And, you know, a lot of us don't find it as interesting as they think we do. Thanks to Al for this wonderful meme. Look, really and truly, if I want to fight against the meta FDL, I can go find Flipper or Walking Dead and get beat by the best in the game. I fought tons of people in 1v1s, and I don't mind if I win or lose. I lost to Mayroon, I posted the video, I lost to Ration, still one of the best fights I've ever had. I'll take the 2% loss, it was awesome. And I never mind. I mean, I don't even get close to getting Walking shields down. I didn't get close to getting Flipper shields down. I once got Nightfall Soul's shields down, and then I got obliterated by him. You know, I've never worried about getting killed by people in this game. I'll happily fight anyone in a 1v1. Doesn't bother me. I've rocked up at 4 in the morning and travelled halfway across the bubble to have a 1v1 with Woland before now. Yeah, I'll fight anyone, I don't care. So all the claims of cowardice or trying to avoid people that you make, Ragna Scott, no one's believing you. Also, I'll give you a practical demonstration of me being obsessed with you or not being obsessed with you. I'm fighting GPZ Rider here. Meanwhile, you're in an instance with Pirate Hawk and you're at 0% hull. 0% hull. I'm on an alt-phasing Mamba. All I have to do is interdict you and fire, like, you know, and even if you repaired, I'm still going to kill you. You know, one shot before you get back in the station, you're dead. But did I come chasing after you? Did I? No, because I can be bothered. And, you know, listen to this conversation. Neither could Harry Polo, because killing you is not something we even give a monkeys about. You claim we're obsessed. We don't even care about you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hold on. Over here. Oh, hold on. Nope. The power check. Oh no, he's at 0%. Right here. Nope. I'll give you a quick look at that.
Go on, go on. No, I'm just trying to get this kill back for the moment, mate.
Kill.
If he's at 0%, why don't you just kill him?
Yeah, you don't need me.
Oh, because I don't have an interdictor. That's why it's...
It's a fucking combat ship.
That sounds like you fucking problem.
I'm busy. Fucking busy.
Now, unfortunately, the voice recording didn't record Myra's reaction because I asked the same thing and I was like, no, I'm fighting this guy in a 1v1. I'd rather fight GPZ Rider in a 1v1 than Ragna Scott, because at least this dude gives me a GG at the end of a fight. And don't feel sorry for Orc. Really, don't feel sorry for Orc. Ragna Scott escaped. I'll give him his due. He's slippery and escapes a lot of time on very low hull. Fair play to him. But Orc got his kills that night, don't worry. We got 3 kills in a 2v2, because basically it turned into 2v1s. We were fighting a Corvette and the crate. We picked on the crate 2v1. Then after we killed that, we went back and killed the Corvette 2v1. And then once the Corvette died, actually as the Corvette blew up, the poor crate had dropped back in. And so that left the crate 2v1 again. So yeah, we effectively got 3 kills in a 2v2 by turning it into 2 2v1s. So don't feel sorry for Pyro. He gets plenty of kills, and it's just funny, to be honest, that Ragna escaped him because he didn't have an interdictor, and gave us all a good laugh. And as the guy said, not having an interdictor sounds like a you problem. But yeah, honestly, Orc gets enough kills as it is. So yeah, I thought this was really fun. We had some cracking fights, some really good fun times, and I stayed in my 1v1 with GPZ Rider, even though I could have easily jumped up and killed Ragnarsnot, because simply GPZ Rider, when I GG him, he GG'd back. We had this cracking fight, it was all GG's, it was real fun. And I do have a message for Ragnar Scott from Scooby. Before I made this video, I discussed it with Scooby, we had a chat about it, and he was very happy for me to pass on his comment as to why he has Ragnar Scott blocked and why he will continue to block him in future.
And I'm not being funny. I mean, no disrespect. But you're a cunt. You're a cunt now. You've always been a cunt. And the only thing that's going to change is you're going to become an even bigger cunt.
Now, to all the lawfuls that are offended that I don't have them on my friends list, I'm just going to say this. I am an in-game criminal. I don't want you guys knowing where I am and what I'm doing all the time. Like, if you knew where I was and what I'm doing, you'd try and come over and stop me. You barged in on our PPI attack last year. You know, I like having my privacy and I can go on with my crime. If you see me, come and kill me. It doesn't matter. I don't care about that. It's supposed to be a kill on a sight list. I'm not supposed to make it easy for you. My message to Ragnar Scott is really simple. I don't want you on my friends list, so you're not getting on my friends list. It's the end of discussion, really. I mean, if half of what you guys said about me or the lies you guys put out about me were true, you wouldn't want me on your friends list anyway. I mean, let's face it, I'm a lying narcissist that drives people to suicide. I'm so toxic and hated. Why would you want that guy on your friends list? I mean, I enjoy reading all the salt you guys put out about me, but I don't feel I need to add you to my friends list to basking it any more than I already get. You know, if I see you in game, I'll happily shoot at you, but beyond that, I don't care. I really, really don't. I'm just gonna say goodbye now. That is all for this video, and let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know if you think people have a right to be on your friends list. I personally don't. But that's all. Thank you very much for watching.